pursuit of prosperity, we must push aside limitations and fears, as these are mere illusions that many of us allow to stop our growth and development. So imagine greatness, be bold, and march on to your prosperity. Hi there, I'm Theodore Henry. Welcome to Jamaica Magazine. Coming up on the pages, Jamaica installing a modern port community system to make doing business easier. Plus, we'll delve into plans to revive and expand mining and production activities in St. Elizabeth. Sit back and relax for those and more after these messages.
The Ministry of Education, Youth and Information is committed to ensuring that every Jamaican child has the best learning environment to thrive and needs your cooperation to make the education system work successfully.
What are the school's voluntary contributions for?
Co-curricular and sports activities and school development.
What amount are parents to contribute?
Your contributions are voluntary and the amount depends on the type of programs being offered by the school.
If my child is being denied access to school, can I complain to the ministry?
Yes. You can call or visit any of the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information's 6 regional offices or send an email to complaints@moey.gov.jm.
What support is there for PATH students?
PATH students are not expected to make contributions and are to be provided with 5 days free lunch as of this year.
Parents and guardians, do continue to make your voluntary financial contributions to your children's school. The institutions need your assistance for their school development and sporting activities. Remember, every child can learn. Every child must learn.
Doing business with Jamaica is improving. And as you'll see in the next feature, the Port Authority of Jamaica's introduction of an electronic platform is helping to propel that process.
Our sea and airports serve to integrate the Jamaican economy into the global trading system, and significant transformation of these market gateways is taking place in order to improve competitiveness. The Port Authority of Jamaica, PAJ, is partnering with the Jamaica Customs Agency and the Shipping Association of Jamaica to facilitate the total modernization of port facilities in the country. The main tool is the Jamaica Port Community System, PCS, launched in July 2016. It's a neutral and open electronic platform designed for intelligent and secure exchange of information between public and private stakeholders within seaports and airports.
By integrating the system and flow of information among and between members of the port community, the PCS will facilitate more efficient trade services, reduce the cost and time of completing transactions, and enhance the image of Jamaica's logistic environment.
Jamaica's port community system is being developed and implemented by SOJET SA with oversight by a newly formed unit of the Port Authority called the Port Community System Operator. It will significantly increase security, safety, and the speed of operations, which will enhance port productivity.
The benefits are quite clear in terms of what the PCS system will offer: reduce clerical efforts to process, submit, and collect documentation, faster goods clearance leading to reduced inventory holding costs, more predictable and reliable information, and lastly, greater revenues to the consolidated fund to allow government to provide a higher level of those social services that we all want.
Among other things, Customs Transshipment Bill will become fully digitized with the introduction of paperless transactions. Terminal operators, shipping agents, and customs will be reliably informed in real time of activities and events related to cargo. And the PCS is built to resist severe disasters and security breaches, so users will have peace of mind. It's being implemented as part of an $8 million investment by the PAJ over the next 5 years, and will be integrated with the Jamaica Customs Agency's management system, the Assikuda World.
The improvement will in fact bring significant improvement in how we manage our business and create opportunities for business development.
Stakeholders will have reliable round-the-clock access for business transactions and complete transparency along the logistics chain.
The system is very dynamic and it can receive all file formats, whatever file format the line uses, that will be immediately, within seconds, be pushed to Asecuda World, and the whole electronic process will be fully integrated. We are therefore confident that with the introduction of this PCS system, you will have a full track and trace system.
Part of what we're doing here is to reduce not only the process in terms of time and improve our trade logistic business process, it improves transparency and reduce corruption.
Jamaica will be complying with international shipping standards as it puts in place its port community system, and by extension will be mastering administrative controls required to establish a successful logistics hub and boost its international rank in trade and logistics.
When the volumes of cargo and passengers processed by our ports grow, the economy also grows. Employment is created directly on the terminal for equipment operators, engineers, and planners. Shipping agencies and brokerages expand. Haulage contractor operations grow, and new value-added businesses in logistics, maritime services, insurance, and law emerge and expand.
Jamaica, through the port community system, is creating a simpler, standardized, and modern means of doing business, supporting economic growth and development. To learn more, contact the PCS Operator Department at the Port Authority of Jamaica at 102 to 112 Water Lane, Kingston. Call them at 922-0290-8. Email PCS_operator at portjam.com. or visit JamaicaPCS.com.
Nutritious food, succulent dishes, superior workmanship, and excellent service. Jamaica is on the go. Let's grow what we eat and eat what we grow. Let's harness the indomitable spirit of our most valued resource, our people. Let's support our local businesses. After all, buying Jamaican means building Jamaica.
Jamaica's port system is not the only thing on the move towards accelerated development in the country. Nain and surrounding communities in St. Elizabeth are soon to witness major development as a bauxite deal takes shape.
An upturn in mining and related activities promises much for socio-economic growth and development. Nain and surrounding communities in St. Elizabeth are gearing up to benefit from new investment in this area. On July 19, 2016, mining conglomerate UC Rosal and Chinese firm Jiquan Iron and Steel Company JISCO signed an agreement for the sale of Alpart at a ceremony in China. Full consultations on the sale have been taking place with the Jamaican government, which has to receive and consider the best plans for structured and sustainable implementation. The administration is balancing the country's economic growth aspirations with environmental protection concerns.
The government and JISCO will be paying great attention to the environment and its protection, which are critical in the project construction and production. JISCO will have to strictly abide by the relevant law, regulations, and order from the Jamaica government regarding labor, health, safety, and the environment.
The sale is expected to be finalized by November 2016, setting the platform for preparatory work on the first phase of investment totaling $220 million to modify and upgrade the bauxite plant. JISCO's operations will be supported through a local registered office in Jamaica and a dispatch of some 200 persons on special work permits. Young Jamaicans will also be trained in China at JISCO's university through an exchange program. Importantly, the company says it will continue to employ existing Alpart staff and will recruit most of the former and available employees, creating approximately 700 jobs by the start of the first phase of improvements. Plant modification and upgrading is projected to run from December 2016 to December 2017 and will improve production efficiency and reduce production cost.
After the modification period, that is the post-December 2017, JISCO would have accomplished critical processing upgrading of relevant equipment such as digestion, filtration, calcination. This is expected to not only reduce production costs, but also enhance the effectiveness of production.
The plant will benefit from China's best engineering alumina production capabilities.
Designing Institute Shenyang Aluminum and Magnesium Engineering Institute is working for JISCO. They specialize in the mixed process of bauxite exacting. And this new process will greatly raise Alpart's competitiveness and production capacity. That approach can achieve 2 million tons of alumina per annum in half year. And that's good news and hopefully exciting news for the mining industry in Jamaica.
2 major sub-projects are also to be undertaken, which will see the upgrading of Port Kaiser and addition of a 1,000 megawatt electricity generation plant.
In this regard, JISCO is currently exploring 3 types of resource, including natural gas, shale gas, or artificial gas, coal to gas, for Alpart energy modification.
JISCO also plans to build out a complete industrial zone once this power supply plant is up and running. This $2 billion investment will comprise the bauxite mining operations, alumina refinery, a local electricity network, electrolytic aluminum, aluminum fabrication including aluminum rods, tubes and other industrial products. Openings for new businesses or expansion of existing ones using products out of the zone should provide opportunities for other value-added productions and a string of related services.
All of which should send a message to the Jamaican population that their opportunities align to that productivity level for small and other businesses to develop around it.
The Ministry of Transport and Mining, facilitating sustainable integrated development.
No, son. A verb is an action word.
Parents need to become more involved in their children's education.
Parents are the first and in many cases the most important teachers.
Read with your children. Review their schoolwork. Visit their school.
Tapping and rapping and slapping, I said.
Nice. High five. Woo!
A good education will never decay.
It's important to ensure your children eat a balanced meal daily. This allows for good mental and physical health, and we want our children to be in tip-top shape throughout the new school year. Here are some tips to get you started.
It's a long-held belief that a healthy child is a better student, and a big part of children being receptive to learning and meeting their developmental milestones is a well-balanced diet. We support that notion, and so we've enlisted the help of Charmaine Edwards, head of the nutrition unit in the Ministry of Health, to give us some useful pointers on how to make the first few years of our toddler's education productive. Charmaine, so happy to have you. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
A lot of toddlers, when they're making the transition from home or daycare into a full-fledged school, it can be a very unsettling experience. Right. So what kind of advice would you give in helping making that transition smoother?
Right. So the first advice I would give is not to use food to get these children settled. So don't offer food as reward. All right? Don't try to use it to calm their emotional state. They develop the wrong association for food. But in terms of eating, the first thing they do is refuse food. But I can tell you, when they're hungry, they're gonna eat. So we just need to ensure that they are having their proper nutrition. How will you know if they are? They will gain weight, they will grow well. If they're not gaining weight and they're not growing, we know that something is wrong with their nutritional status. What we have not mentioned so far, however, is their physical activity, because it's going to be key. because obesity and childhood obesity in particular is becoming really important in the Caribbean and in the world in general. So we need to ensure that they are active participants. And with the sugar and so on, we need to watch dental caries. That's another part we tend to forget, but we need to ensure that the teeth are also healthy.
Okay. But as also part of the nutrition, as we wrap up soon, is in terms of the fact that when they're moving on to a full-fledged school, the parent is not around all day. So even though they might give them their lunches, because I remember when I was younger, and my mom gave me like a bun and cheese, and when I went to school, I'd give it away.
Right.
So how can a parent ensure that their child at school is eating properly?
Right. And so it brings me to 2 points. The first one is going to be children share a lot. It's in their nature. So you might give away your lunch and eat somebody else's lunch. They are like that. So once all our caregivers are aware of the healthy options that are available, then you shouldn't worry too much. That's one. 2, most of these early child institutions have a structured program, and so they monitor what it is that the children are having. I know that the Early Childhood Commission has developmental officers and they have inspectors that go around to ensure that they adhere to the standards that have been set. So I wouldn't worry too much in that setting, that is a more controlled setting, even than when you get to a primary school level per se, when the children are free to choose at that point. But children 3 to 4 are generally starting their independence. They want to feed themselves. And so the environment is controlled. So once the environment is controlled, then we shouldn't have to worry too much.
Okay. Any last tips?
So feed them in happy surroundings. Make eating a pleasurable experience for them. Experiment with them. Don't impose our likes as adults and dislikes on them. Let them make their own choices.
Thank you, Charmaine. So there you have it. Nutrition is a major part of a child's learning experience. So ensure your child has the right ingredients to grow and to learn. It's time to acknowledge the work and worth of civil servants performing with excellence. Ministries, departments, and agencies of government, MDAs, start submitting completed nomination forms and photo of candidates for the 13th Annual Civil Servant of the Year Award. Invitations are now open. Submit entries to the Ministry of Finance and Public Service Strategic Human Resource Management Division. Each ministry is allowed only 2 entries. Deadline for submission of nomination forms is Friday, September 2, 2016. For more information, contact the Employee Relations and Benefits Unit, Ministry of Finance and Public Service. Telephone 932-5367 or 932-5375 or send an email.
Up next, top stories making news this week.
Hi there, I'm Simone Wolf with your JIS News of the Week. The Planning Institute of Jamaica, PIOJ, this week projected that the country's economy should grow between the range of 0.5 and 1.5% for the July to September quarter of this fiscal year. Newly appointed Director General Dr. Wayne Henry said the projection was based on the 1.1% outturn for the April to June period and 0.9% growth for the first 6 months of the calendar year.
Higher output was estimated for all industries, with the exception of mining and quarrying, down 1.4%, and producers of government services, down 0.2%. The industries with the largest increases during the period were agriculture, forestry and fishing, up 4.9%, electricity and water supply, up 5.4%, and hotels and restaurants, up 2%.
In the meantime, Jamaica is poised to receive approximately $40 million once the board of the International Monetary Fund signs off on the positive 13th quarter review recently completed by a staff-level mission to the country.
Economic growth in Jamaica is recovering gradually. Growth is expected to reach 1.7% in the current fiscal year 2016-17 as ongoing investments crystallize and agricultural recovery continues. Inflation remains low and gross international reserves continue to increase.
Near-term priority actions will include initiatives aimed at improving the efficiency, quality, and cost-effectiveness of the public sector, as well as creating conditions to stimulate increased and sustainable levels of economic growth.
The technology implementation arm of the government, eGov Jamaica Limited, signed a memorandum of understanding with the Ministry of Finance on Thursday for $171 million to strategically position the public sector in the information age.
Overall, the project will create a transformation framework in order to establish eGov Jamaica as a modern ICT service provider for the entire government of Jamaica.
Earlier in the week, Prime Minister Andrew Holness presented over 220 persons from across the country with land titles. They are among 1,200 land titles that will be distributed within the next 7 months under a Memorandum of Understanding between the Land Administration and Management Program LAMP and the Development Bank of Jamaica DBJ.
We are seeking to empower all Jamaicans with a renewed sense of ownership and pride in Jamaica by ensuring that each person has a title for their land. We want every Jamaica to have a vested interest in building Jamaica, land we love.
Public sector nurse practitioners signed the 2015-2017 Heads of Agreement with the government on Wednesday. In addition to a 4% salary increase over 2 years, the agreement included provisions for education and training.
A grant of $1 million for nurse practitioners. We believe that whilst it is a drop in the bucket, we believe that it is a good start and it is an indication that we are heading in the right direction.
That function at the Finance Ministry also saw government and the Jamaica Civil Service Association signing a fringe benefits agreement peculiar to persons in central ministries, departments and agencies of government that would not have been extended to the wider public sector. The benefits include grants to assist public sector workers with tertiary education, the establishment of a government workplace policy, and transportation for public sector workers utilizing the government employees' transport system. The Jamaica Constabulary Force launched a body camera pilot project on Thursday as it received 120 body cameras from the U.S. government.
This marks the start of a new chapter in police accountability in Jamaica and a significant step on the road to improving our human rights record and ultimately public trust.
During the pilot phase, 6 JCF divisions, St. Andrew Central, St. Andrew South, Kingston East, Kingston Central, Motorized Patrol and Traffic Headquarters will be assigned 20 cameras each. And finally, the National Security Council, NSC, which is chaired by Prime Minister Andrew Holness, is formulating a strategic anti-crime action plan to be delivered by October 2016. The plan is to involve an integrated and comprehensive set of measures and actions to significantly reduce crime on the island. And those were some of the stories making news this week. I'm Simone Wolf.
This is the Aedes aegypti mosquito that spreads the Zika, chikungunya, and dengue viruses. Search for its breeding sites and destroy them. A message from the Ministry of Health, sponsored by the NHF.
Well, I dare to make a difference, and I dare to take a stand. Let me dare to think of someone else who's in need of a helping hand.
The Office of the Children's Advocate is very aware
that we have some parents who get particularly anxious at the start of a new school year. And so we really just wanted to share with you a few tips that you can utilize to help keep your children, especially the very young ones who are going out for the first time, nice and safe from sexual abuse. Parents need to recognize that the private parts, as we call them, or the genitalia, are regular parts of the body. And so in teaching your children about the forehead and the nose and the hand, you can also teach them the names of these body parts, because that does two things. It puts them in a position to speak about these parts when something is going wrong, and it also tells them that even though they are private parts, it's not too private to talk about, particularly with a parent. Children need to know that there should be no secrets between them and their parents or guardians. Oftentimes, when persons want to abuse children, they tend to encourage them to keep a little secret. You know, this is between me and you. But from very early, parents need to establish with their children that the lines of communication are open. Mommy and daddy, or auntie and uncle, or whoever is the responsible adult in that child's life, can actually have a discussion, age appropriate of course, about anything at all that may be troubling the child. The third tip is that parents need to cultivate throughout the child's lifespan that environment whereby the child feels comfortable to speak. Conversation should not be off limit, topics should not be taboo, and you really need to get to a stage whereby you have teachable moments, we call them. So we see a lot of things reported in the newspapers, sometimes on the nightly news, and we can use some of these instances of horrible things that are happening to other children to start little discussions with our own children to give them tips as to how they can avoid or prevent, perhaps completely, any such reality happening to them. For these tips, and of course any other information that deals with children, that is anyone under 18 years, please feel free to contact the Office of the Children's Advocate. We're at 72 Harbour Street, downtown Kingston, and our numbers are 948-1134, or website www.oca.gov.jm.
Well, I dare to make a difference, and I dare to take a stand. Let me dare to think of someone else who's in need of a helping hand. But if I dare...
And this is where we take our leave on yet another enlightening edition of Jamaica Magazine. We value your feedback, so keep the link through our various social media platforms, send an email to jamaicamagazine@jis.gov.jm, and visit our website, jis.gov.jm, for the latest on government information. Until next time, I'm Theodore Henry, reminding you to take care of your health, eat well, exercise, get adequate rest, and make every day a productive one.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.